I got to kick this thing off. Can I kick it off? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, listen.
Conversate with Us Radio presents the Man Listen Show. We are the blackest radio show on the internet. We bring you our opinion on topics that affect the Black community in an effort to enlighten, enrich, and empower every brother and sister that falls under the sound of our voice. We operate on the no hating frequency, so be prepared for us to keep it 100% real and 100% Black all the time. Please follow the show on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Man Listen Show. Make sure you share the show and make sure you use the hashtag #ManListen. I'm your host, Mar B. Let me go ahead and introduce the crew. C, what's up with you?
Hey, what's good?
It's all good. It's all good. Arika, what's up?
Hey.
All right, how you doing? And my boy Lab, what's up, man?
What's going on?
It's all good. It's all good.
Good,
Live on
good.
Facebook, you know what I'm saying? Talking to the people.
Okay.
So, one of our first shows, we talked about Kanye. And we talked about Kanye coming back home, man. And it looked like we done Kanye all the way gone. He's all the way gone. So for those who don't know, there was a video that was posted by a young lady that attended a rally for Kanye West. He's been talking about running for president, and apparently he was having this rally to, try to gin up buzz for his quote unquote presidential campaign. What you saw was Kanye wearing like a bulletproof vest, and he had like it looked like they were supposed to be security, but they looked like, a fake deacon board that was sitting behind them. I was like, man, Kanye couldn't get the fruit of Islam, but he was going on some
he had the vegetable
right,
Islam.
right. So he was going on a rant, and he started talking about Harriet Tubman, and he said Harriet Tubman freed the slaves. He said, well, she didn't really free the slaves. She just took them to work for different white people. And the sister that was recording was like, yeah, let's go. And a lot of people were, enraged, and rightfully so. You don't diss one of the ancestors, especially one who did as much as Harriet Tubman did. And more videos started to be released, and you saw him, having a breakdown. This brother started crying, talking about his dad wanted to abort him, and he almost lost his daughter. And folks was talking about Kanye is having a mental breakdown. Me personally, I think that's all BS. I just think, selling out is hard, and it's tough out here. But we're gonna talk about it as a crew, man. What y'all think when y'all saw it? Y'all saw the clip. What'd you think when you saw Kanye, dissing Harriet Tubman and looking crazy with that bulletproof vest on? What was up with the bulletproof vest? Like,
Man.
Kanye think somebody trying to take him out or something?
Man, I don't know.
Fascinated.
Yeah.
Like he Fred Hampton or something. Like, come on, dude.
Right.
Like, whatever, dude.
I mean, the mind is a powerful thing. So once you've created that narrative in your mind and you've subscribed to it, that's his reality now. That he's that important.
Right.
But I don't know. I have a contrary opinion about
What's that?
Kanye. I don't feel like he was necessarily disrespecting Harriet Tubman. I mean, it's just like when Martin Luther King said that he feels like he's integrating his people into a burning house. Harriet Tubman didn't necessarily free us because we still have slavery through the prison system. So I think that he thinks abstractly and people take him literally. I think he's smart enough to come up with abstract ideas, but not smart enough to flesh them out and explain it to people so that it sounds like more than just gibberish. So he probably has been listening to other people say stuff, and then he tries to get out there and say it or make it make sense, and he can't. So I don't think he was necessarily trying to disrespect Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman moved people from the South to the North, but America is just one big old racist system. So I mean,
Right.
we just got relocated. We didn't get,
Yeah.
and then like even in Texas, they didn't even know.
You moved from getting somewhere where they was cracking that whip on you to where somewhere where they just said you couldn't do what white folks could do. So there's a difference,
Right.
you know.
I mean, I'm not saying
and
it's
the
not
fact
a
that
difference.
he said
You need to stick to making them little ugly shoes, the little ugly shoes and sandals and stuff,
But
and just keep his
no, I
mouth
see
shut.
what Erika's saying though, and I said the same thing the other day. Like I think a lot of what Kanye says is the truth. He just doesn't deliver it right. So I mean, it just comes out way wrong. But you know, one of the things, like he said, that Harriet didn't free the slaves; she just took them to work for white people. Well, I mean, at least they were getting a little bit of a check.
yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what I
even
was gonna
now,
say. Yeah.
yeah, even now, how hard is it for us to go and just, you know, everybody go work for a black-owned business if they want to? Back then, I'm sure there were no black-owned businesses for those slaves to go work at, so they didn't really have a choice. But I get what he was saying.
I don't, because you know what? the people who had all the skills, the carpenters, the whatever jobs they were doing on the plantation, they were the slaves.
Right.
So yeah, they could work for themselves. A lot of the slaves were contracted out by the masters and were making a lot of money, and they were living well. So
Yeah.
no, they could have went, they could have did stuff, because they've been working their whole life and they know how to do stuff. So
I think
I'm not
what
cutting
They
Kanye.
could
I'm
not
not
have
cutting
worked for
Kanye no
themselves
slack.
if
I'm not
no,
cutting
they
Kanye
could
no
not have
slack.
worked for
You don't
themselves
diss
if they
none of
weren't
the
allowed to.
ancestors.
Exactly. That's where
No.
unions came from, because
I
the white
mean,
people up north were scared for their jobs, and so they
right.
started unionizing to make sure that they got those contract jobs and black people didn't.
I mean, it
So
is
same
they
difference.
burning up black businesses. So just imagine back then. It
But
wasn't
help me out. 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 Did the unions own plantations?
I mean, at some point they probably
I
did.
think everybody did.
No, were they brutalizing us like Master was?
right.
I mean,
No.
You was at
thing
least getting a
is-
check too, though.
No.
I mean,
so
No.
you not cutting Kanye no slack, but you cutting the white people up north some slack. I'm not giving nobody in America no
was
pass.
trying to say, but see, I think Kanye was indicting the whole U.S. system. It sounded bad. I understand what y'all saying, but what he's saying is, no matter what, as a black person in the U.S., you're never going to truly be free, because the way the United States was founded, you're always going to be working for a white person, no matter what. So, you know, yeah, you're saying, oh man, she freed the slaves, but in actuality, they weren't free. They were, you know, you see the free-ish, you know, that kind of stuff. They had more freedoms, but in the United States, the way the laws were constructed then, and even now, where you can make a lot of money as a black person now, but that still doesn't take you outside of being black in America.
I don't think if Kanye had said it like that, everybody would have been cool.
Right. Yeah, he just doesn't deliver his message very well. He can on pen and paper. I mean, he can write, but he just don't think stuff through when he starts going off the dome, speaking in front of people.
You know what the problem is? You gotta get a beat going in the back, and then it'll sound better. That's my words. You gotta start beating on the table for him like it's a freestyle.
Hey, but do y'all follow him on Twitter though?
No.
My nephew was like, Auntie, he going crazy.
Because it's humorous. When he got mad at Kim and he kept referring to her as North's mom, I lost it. I completely lost it.
He called Kris Jenner
North's mom, not my wife, not Kim, North's mom.
That was the first thing that stuck out to me too. And my nephew was like reading me the tweets. I was like, why does he keep calling her North's mom?
And he was done with Kim at that point. He was done.
Forget all the other kids. You better watch out for she get an entanglement.
Well,
personally, I don't find him funny, because I think he's dangerous. Because I think sellouts like that, they give quarter for stupid racist whites to say stupid stuff, and that's the problem that we have by having celebrities in positions like this who talk because they don't know. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He isn't articulate. He isn't profound. He makes good beats. So honestly, you know, his little quirkiness that people try to give him a pass for, I'm way past it. You went and you try to use religion and get a choir behind you to try to ingratiate yourself back to black people, and you still just a sellout. Put your "Make America Great" hat again on. Go make your little ugly shoes and your little ugly sandals and go sit somewhere and shut up. Sit somewhere and shut up. You know, y'all can give him a pass if you want to, but I'm not giving him a pass.
Well, so I don't necessarily give
I didn't say I was giving him a
I think
pass.
he suffers from mental illness.
Y'all see they're trying to rationalize. He just don't know what he's talking about. Boy, that dude was a damn fool.
No.
Everybody trying to listen to him.
No, I said a lot of what he says is the truth, but he doesn't articulate it well. That's what I said.
What was the truth? One thing he said that was the truth.
What he was talking about the slaves.
Yes.
He's saying basically.
We argued about this before, whether slavery is a choice. And then we was like, death is a choice. So then staying in slavery is a choice. You could say it's not a viable choice, but that doesn't make his statement factually wrong.
I just didn't like that was at his camp. If he had said that on Twitter, I probably wouldn't have seen it unless somebody told me about it, right? But if he's considered himself a viable, well, he can't realistically consider himself a viable presidential candidate.
He hasn't even filed the paperwork. He hasn't even filed the necessary paperwork to run for president.
And so that's kind of like,
so he probably there's gonna be some music coming out. This some nonsense.
Gotta be.
He's not living in the same reality as us, so he can just say words and they not have any foundation. So
yeah. But no, I think he's I think he not trying saying it's funny or anything, but I think he has some mental issues, and it's those darn Kardashians. You see what they did to Lamar Odom too. You know what I'm saying? So
you see who brought him back to life.
They had Lamar OD'd at the Bunny Ranch. You know what I'm saying? Like they put them Kardashians, they putting something on them brothers, man. I think the only one that came out unscathed was Reggie. Who was our boy from the Saints?
Reggie Bush.
Reggie
and
Bush.
was he unscathed?
Reggie Bush, the only one that came out unscathed.
His wife looked just like one though. Like she looked like she could be a Kardashian's cousin.
Really?
Really. Well, Lamar seemed to be doing good. So, like Rika said, he came back to the sisters. They got him right.
All the way together.
Well, did y'all see what Kim put out though? Somebody shared it on social media.
Yeah.
And she talked about him being bipolar and how it's difficult because someone who is dealing with mental health issues. And you know what? I did have some compassion for her when she said that because I have family members that deal with mental health issues, and it is problematic because you do have to go through so many steps to try to limit them from hurting themselves, you know, because this is damaging himself. This is damaging his public reputation. I mean, people may, see, like y'all, they may see the point that he was trying to make. But for, I think, the lion's share of the public, when you make a disparaging comment about Harriet Tubman, that's going to damage you publicly in the long run. And Kim is his wife, and she realizes that, he's putting his brand at risk. This brother has started a shoe line. I kept talking about his little ugly shoes, but I think, that shoe line has made him a billionaire. Yeah. And by proxy, that money is some of hers as well, too. So, being the mother of his children and having to deal with, mental health, that is something that's very tough to deal with. So I felt for her on that Instagram release that she put out about Kanye's mental health, but I still don't give him no pass because I know people that got mental health problems and they may be in a manic situation, they may be acting irrationally, but he had to go through a whole lot of steps to get to where he was having a whole presidential campaign rally, and nobody could have stopped him. So I'm not buying it 100%, but
he doesn't have the right people around him, though.
Well, we've been saying that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he doesn't have the right people around him, and the people don't have billions and have a platform. Right. They could go set up a rally to be run for president right now across the street, but nobody's going to.
The other thing, go ahead.
That's the difference with Ye.
I think too, when you get to a certain point in your life, it's only so many people that's going to be able to tell you no.
Yeah.
My husband can probably tell me no. My siblings can probably tell me no. Maybe my parents. But he's at a point where he probably, if he was already especially mad at Kim, the only person right now that could probably tell that man no was his mama, and she ain't nowhere in the vicinity. So he's just at probably a point where there's no one that he trusts enough to reel him back. And I have extensive experience with people with bipolar disorder. And sometimes you be like, bro, I'm tired too. So go ahead, spiral. Like, you don't, I mean, sometimes when you're dealing with your own stuff, imagine two people in quarantine and you stressed to the max dealing with them every single day of quarantine, and then they just up and decide they want to just go totally off the rails. Man, maybe Kim's just tired. Maybe she need a nap. Maybe she's, reaping the karma of all her boyfriends.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Can you imagine dealing with Kanye all day, every day in quarantine?
Yeah. He's been at the ranch in Wyoming. Did y'all see Dave Chappelle went and checked on him?
No.
I saw that.
I love David.
Yeah,
he flew out there.
Yeah, he jumped on a plane to go check on him and see how he was doing, and they made like a little video and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think Kim's setting it. He's doing a lot to herself too. But she's setting the stage. She's gonna take all his money and those kids.
Yeah.
I mean,
He said they had a prenup though, so their money is already figured out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you know what though? You know what?
Does that mean money after they made those? She's married, or was that just before?
Attorney, Arika's the attorney, but once you got some kids in play, that money, then prenups don't really mean a whole bunch. I mean, what do you think, Arika?
Well, so for one, the prenup probably only judges their relationship. So she got 4 kids, so she gonna need child support to maintain these 4 kids' current lifestyle, which, as we've seen celebrity man after celebrity man get raked over the coals, and even Mary J. She's like the only woman example.
Man, don't talk about it.
Man, but so when kids come into play, like Marv said, it changes the rules, because you can have a prenup to, basically outline how this relationship is treated, but that just handles alimony and the divorce. That doesn't have anything to do about child support. So if you're a billionaire, your child support's gonna be $50,000 a month for probably each one of the. If she got $1 million a month for child support, I wouldn't be shocked. And she's Kim, so she has money, so she's fine. But it's one of the only pluses in this patriarchal society that we have to being a woman, is that when they walk away with their hands full 90% of the time.
I mean, she probably might not even try to go after everything, but I bet her mom would. I bet she talk her into it.
Yeah, Chris pulling the strings behind that whole operation. So yeah.
Also on sex tape.
Well, I'll get to say Kim the one that got him eaten. Kim put that sex tape got quote unquote released.
Listen, I bet you Chris was pushing the release button.
He did. I mean, according to Kanye, Chris is the one that released it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean they knew what was up. Yeah. They knew it was allegedly, but if I was just a black man, I wouldn't want no parts of that family, because you see what they did. You see what they did to Bruce.
Yeah,
see what they did to Lamar and Kanye. Yeah, you better leave it alone.
They tried to do the Tristan Thompson, boy. They be coming, boy.
Yeah.
Listen, all we know is that Bruce was an Olympian.
Man, but
they didn't do nothing to Bruce.
Another thing it made me think of, honestly, though, was when, of course, Kanye, you got to bring up my guy Jay. So he had that song out called Lost One. And, he'd be like, fame is the worst drug known to man. It's stronger than heroin. And Kanye said he was hooked on heroin, in that video too. So it's just like, once you get the attention, man, sometimes, like you say, you don't have music out, or your music that's coming out isn't as being received as much as you would like it to be, or as your previous releases. Sure, you're doing good with the selling the shoes and stuff like that, but that's not giving you that fame that you crave, though. That's not giving you that attention that you like, that you're used to, man. And so it makes you do weird things. It really does. That's really the first thing that popped out to me was that line in that Lost One song by Jay.
How has his music been since he's been on this weird?
That's the point. Exactly. I haven't listened to it. I listened to the gospel album that the choir did without Kanye, but not the one with Kanye. But so
my husband and my daughter love Kanye. His My Twisted Dark Fantasy or something like that.
Yeah, but that was 10 years ago.
Yeah, no. that was a classic. That was before he started tripping though.
That was 2010 when that came out.
Really?
Yeah.
The one where he's talking about that song where he's like, I dreamed I thought about killing you today.
Yeah, that was the whole that whole tape was about Amber Rose. Remember, he was still tripping off Amber Rose.
That was 2010.
I have no idea.
Yeah. That was way before he started tripping.
I'm not a Kanye fan, so.
Hey, I'm reading some of the comments. So Dennis said that they fucked up Bruce Jenner too.
He was an Olympian. That's all I'm saying.
Hey man, Bruce Jenner was on the Wheaties box.
He's
now he can't
walking in her truth, Caitlyn.
Yeah, now he Caitlyn. So, man, but yeah, Kanye. I mean, I wish Kanye would just stick to the music, and just shut his mouth.
Ooh.
With this whole quarantine going on, music.
Up his thing, huh?
But that's dangerous though. So we get mad when they tell LeBron he should just stick to basketball when he's speaking on political issues, but now we want Kanye to shut up. See, we can't have it both ways.
At least, yes, you can. I'm gonna tell you why. at least LeBron has people around him who have armed him with the knowledge, and he knows when to step back. And he knows, okay, even when he may make a misstep when he speaks, it still comes from I believe, and I can't say Kanye is being non-genuine, but LeBron is speaking from a place where he's researched it, or he has people behind him where he can execute. I still maintain, even though I'm a LeBron fan, I respect the king. We have a problem as a community about putting too many celebrities on the pedestal to speak for us as a community. When we need political scientists, we need economists, we need people who have the knowledge to be out on the forefront talking about us. Why do we really want to hear what Kanye's got to say? Like, Kanye makes good beats, but his rhymes are subpar. You know what I mean? So what do we really listen to Kanye for?
Kanye
got subpar?
Kanye,
are you saying Kanye's a lyricist?
Kanye used to have lyrics.
Yeah, I mean lately, or are you just saying like career? Are we talking about the end of his? I forgot. The last 2 years, are we talking about
Kanye in top 10? Is Kanye in top 10 lyrics? Top 10 lyricists
of all time?
Yes.
No.
I don't know.
20,
if he's
top 20. Top 20.
Yeah. I mean, it's there's a point just like with basketball.
He's a top 20 lyricist.
Just like basketball, so much subjectivity. It's hard to say. I know he's not top 5. I know he's not top 10.
He's not top
but
5.
Beyond that,
Kanye said he said on his first album that when they let him freestyle, it was pure garbage. And he said, I knew that Dame and them just put me out. They was like, look, this dude can make beats. So even if his rhymes are garbage, we can just put somebody else on there and save it and still get his beats. Like, no, he was in
that same song though. In that same song, he told that story though. He said, mayonnaise colored Benz, I'll push Miracle Whips. Woo, that's heat. Mayonnaise colored Benz, I push Miracle Whips. Boy,
okay, so you also like 2 Chainz.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think lyrically he's fine, but I mean, he's not. I think he puts words together. I think he's okay. I mean, Tupac's my favorite rapper of all time, but he's not a lyricist. So, I mean,
a 5-year-old puts words together.
The president puts 5 words together.
Right.
And 3 of those are wrong.
Right.
Y'all hate
China. Hey, but check it out though. So, like, I do want Kanye to go back to the music, because the point I was trying to make was that music's been saving us, and especially the whole Verzuz series. And last night, DMX and Snoop Dogg. Hey,
man,
DMX and Snoop Dogg gave me all the life, boy. They was
Right.
some snaps.
Hey,
That was the best one.
It
was kind of like sitting there with your weed smoking uncle and your penitentiary uncle while they in the backyard talking smack.
They showing mad love to each other.
Right.
Yeah,
no, but this OG though. But this
Snoop
OG
too. Hey, Snoop was hyping me up because Snoop was getting it.
Snoop, hey,
he couldn't wait to see Rock.
That same dance. That same dance.
Comedy show in between the songs too. They had me cracking up.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, that was the best one. I was so hyped.
Because my thing was, I was like, man, DMX really talk like that. It ain't just on the album. Like,
it's not a drill.
That's my man.
He talking like a rhythm and cadence. Yeah.
Right. And
like,
then he forgot some of the lyrics. Snoop was like, that's okay. I told you. I got you.
But he remembered all them names though.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Hey, but look. DMX went to see Yalla tried to save his life. Something happened afterwards because he started eating good.
Man.
DMX used to be out there kind of,
he said, I ain't taking my shirt off.
He got a dad bod now.
Snoop was like, we get 3 million viewers. We're going to take our shirts off. He said, we're going to like the number 10 up in here.
Man, that was hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, but they had like 500,000 people watching that.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Well,
the most.
I think what Swiss was saying is that they had more people.
And that was just on Instagram.
Right. So it was 500,000 on Instagram, but some people watching on Apple TV.
Yeah.
It's like 1 million.
Yeah, so they said they were at like 1 million. And then they kept being like, Swiss, you don't know what you're talking about. He like,
the fake ass numbers.
He couldn't make them understand.
DMX said, I see 10 people.
But man, but are they able to monetize that though? Like in the bigger picture,
they do. Because
Snoop and DMX are able to monetize it because like, I don't know about y'all. As soon as I got done, I downloaded I was streaming when Hell Was Hot, or his first time.
They had the set list.
Listening to Snoop, so they getting all those streams, right?
Right.
Are they able to monetize Verzuz? Because Instagram is getting all those clicks. They're getting all those views. So I'm just hoping that some way that Timberland and Swizz and the artists are able to get a little bit of that money as well.
Yeah,
I think it goes by the streams, even though it's peanuts they're getting for each stream. Because leading up to it, I was listening to DMX solo project last week. 2 days I did. That's all I listened to just to kind of get hyped for it, honestly.
Right.
And and then they download they have the set list on Tidal or Spotify or whatever, and you get the streams out for that.
Forgot about that.
But also, who knows? Now he might get a show he was never gonna have. You know what I mean? Something like that. Just to get his name back out there. That's why some of these older artists is eager to do it, because it gets them relevant again.
Yeah.
It's back to that powerful drug, that fame. But you know what?
And we all reminiscing about how it used to be right now when everybody's stuck in the house. You hear that, get it on the floor, get it on and that take you back to 2000. And you like, oh man, I remember I was doing this. Or, beautiful, man. Boy.
They took me all the way back because when I was in the, I know he did though, didn't he? When I was in the 7th grade and that Snoop Doggy Style came out, that's the first rap album I ever listened to. And that's how I even started listening to rap. That's how I fell in love with rap. I know every word of that CD. I play that CD all the time. And I just be like, Snoop is the person that put me on the rap, period. So I was like, oh, DMX Verzuz? We planned our whole vacation around it.
So Snoop?
Yes.
Snoop was your first?
So what were you listening to?
I forgot you was a youngin'.
Listen, not only was I youngin', but I was in the 7th grade. But when I was in the 6th grade, we were so poor in the hood. We didn't have cable. We didn't have a radio. So the only time I ever heard the radio was when I was in the car with my mama. We was listening to Luther Vandross, period. So I didn't hear anything outside of what my mama listened to.
She was listening to Luther.
Like the 7th grade.
She was listening to Luther and Anita Baker. Yeah, Luther and Anita Baker. You might have got a little bit of a verse.
He was caught up in the rapture.
So, and we didn't have. And we had like one TV in our house, but my mama watched it. So we didn't even watch TV. We played outside. So I wasn't listening to music. I wasn't watching TV shows until like the 7th grade where we got a little bit of money and we was just like, oh snap.
I remember I just remember when we first moved to KC, and we was living in South KC, and man, MTV Raps.
Yeah, Yo MTV Raps.
Yeah, Yo MTV Raps would be on.
Right.
Boy, be down there listening to, watching Fab Five Freddy and Ed Lover.
Right, Ed Lover.
Yeah, that's what
Ed Lover, Dr. Dre. Hey, so let me ask y'all this. So since we just talking about, we just talking. What was the first hip hop song that really stood out to you that kind of like impacted your life? The very first one.
Lottie Dottie.
I mean, I don't know. I can't even think back. My uncle was a DJ, so music was kind of something that, we just kind of grew up with. So I can't really remember.
I think the first one I remember was Run DMC. King of Rock. King of Rock,
yeah. The King of Rock. For me, it was Sugar Hill Gang, because I had older brothers, right? Shout out to my brothers. So I remember the Sugar Hill Gang, even though that was like, I think they came out like 79, 80.
Yeah. Might
have been. So we was young, but I remember the Sugar Hill Gang, of course, Run DMC. But I'm gonna tell you, the hip hop tape that really, really kind of like set me off. First was Eric B. Rakim, right? Paid in Full. But when NWA came out, they was like really like the first cats who was cussing on record. I remember my brother Kevin. Shout out to my brother Kevin. He was like, "Hey man, I got some cats out of LA. They cussing on records and everything, dog." And it was done after that. It was done. So the bad thing about it, let's talk about this too. The bad thing about that, and I've always talked about it, NWA. That's why I'm telling everybody I've never seen Straight Outta Compton, because I remember the influence that gangster rap had on us as young black men, and the misogyny, the self-hate, the violence. And people say, well, you see it in the movies as well. As a grown man, I do think that the dumb are led by the drum. And, the music that we were listening to, it was problematic. If you go back and you look at the catalog that NWA has, you look at some of the songs, even the titles of the songs that they had, you'll cringe at some of the things that they were talking about. So fast forward, and you got Snoop and DMX doing their music, and we all jamming. But when you look at it, that music that they made when they were young, it doesn't really age with you, because when you in your late 40s and you still calling women bees, you talking N-word this, N-word that, and you a grandpa, we all gave it a pass because we were jamming and it was fun. But if you look at it, if you keep it real, that was a mess last night. They too old to be talking like that. It's kind of hard.
No. Snoop was checking DMX.
Man, check this out. I ain't gonna say nothing, because that congressman who older than DMX called another congresswoman the same B word on the steps of the United States Capitol. So it ain't about the rap music, bro.
That's about respect, though. But we hope to.
It is.
I'm just saying that ain't the reason why. I understand what you're saying, but I'm not gonna say that if they hadn't, if that rap music wasn't there, that life would be different. Black men wouldn't be calling women bees and stuff. I don't believe that.
No, I think if anything, the gang music and the gangster music was worse than the disrespect. Like when the movie Colors came out, and all of a sudden people outside of LA recognized what gangs were and tried to emulate them. I think that was worse than just the men and women arguing, calling each other names.
And that said, honestly, you look back and you hear certain music and I can remember situations where I responded a certain way because that's what the rap, that's what I heard, and I played it so many times in my head, and the rap music, I might, I responded a certain way or with a certain attitude because that's what you were trained to do. You listen to it over and over and over again. What you consume a lot
that
of.
Really reinforces my point.
No, that's what I'm saying. I agree with you, but I'm just saying that it ain't just rap music. The whole B word and misogyny, all that's just US, bro. That's all I'm saying.
I can't go there. I can't go there, and I can't let them off the hook because
no, I'm not letting them off the hook. I'm just saying
we've seen like the continual downslide of what rap music does to our people. You know, It started off, and we were the ones that we were calling women bees and hoes, and we were saying the N word, and how we treated each other as black men. A lot of us, were able to discern what was fantasy and what was reality, but there was a lot of people who couldn't. And it went from us being the drug dealers to our kids now being the drug users. And the industry allows it. And you see that it's a problem because they only allow us to promote that degradation. They only allow us to promote that slum way of living. When you talk about the women who are promoting, like I don't want to throw them under the bus because the men aren't that much better. But the minute Nick Cannon says something about another group, right? He's anti-Semitic, and his show was canceled. So the same people that allow us and promote us to do these things, when you talk about them, it's a wrap. It's done. Don Imus calls black women nappy-headed hoes. He lost his show. He lost his show for just a few minutes, and then he was back on the radio. And what did they do? They said, "Well, the rappers do it. Yeah. Well, the rappers do it, so why can't we do it?" So it's a problem. It's a problem, and I felt conflicted watching Snoop and DMX, but I was still jamming though. You know what I'm saying? So we got to talk about that.
I didn't feel conflicted. I mean, we've all grown. Like that's not stuff we're gonna listen to in the car with our kids now. But I mean, that was our high school and years and stuff. So I mean, I was jamming. I felt fine.
Bad parenting moment. I had that shit on blast in my house. Everyone was listening to it last night. I was
for real. I was jamming too. I was jamming the dancing too.
Yeah, I was.
But for real, I got to keep it real. I can't be Marv B who says, "Listen, we got to protect the black woman." Right? Black women are the foundation of the black community. I can't say all the things that I say and believe what I believe and not call out that contradiction. I can't do that. So that's why I'm just saying I did feel conflicted by it. I still jammed the music, but I did feel conflicted.
Yeah, I was jamming.
Oh yeah, they got it in last night. I'm gonna be listening to Doggy Style probably all week.
And they had they reposted the video too, so you can actually watch the whole thing again.
Yeah, you can watch it on YouTube. Yeah, you can watch it on YouTube. Yeah, for real. So, man, but I think we talked about it enough. I want to shout out to everybody. Shout out to my brother Dennis, for being in the chat. Shout out to Terry Wilson. Make sure y'all follow him on his YouTube. Wilson for real. I think it's Wilson for real STL. Terry Wilson. So, yeah. Wilson for real STL. And a shout out to Terry because he's running for office. So everybody who watched and commented on our live show.
You watching, always commenting.
Yeah, we appreciate all of y'all. So make sure you subscribe to our show on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Please, we're trying to grow our Instagram following. We need your help with that. You can subscribe to the show on iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify, basically everywhere you podcast. So we'll holler at you next time. Peace.
Peace.
Lab, I thought you was gonna play like Snoop or DMX on the outro or something.
Man, what happened? The letdown.
Hey, look, they going after podcasts for playing music, so we don't want to get our stuff snapped.
You play like 8 seconds.
Are they really?
Yeah.